What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Your Real NBA video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Washington Wizards and if they can become a pretty good team again. This year, Bradley Beal was carrying the team and he was only able to carry them to 24 wins. The Wizards' future is not looking that great. I mean, it's kind of uncertain what the Wizards' future is looking like. As of right now, they have Bradley Beal, who's a superstar player. He could have made the All-Star team this year. And, he's putting up great numbers. I can see him being like a second best player on a championship team, if I'm honest. But then you got John Wall, who's been injured a lot the past couple of years. He tore his Achilles, which is a very serious injury. A lot of players' career ended after a Achilles injury. And John Wall relies a lot on his athleticism and his speed. And the Achilles tear is not really good if you rely on athleticism and speed, obviously. We still have yet to see what John Wall is going to look like when he comes back from the injury. He could possibly, go back to his old self and, become a top point guard in the league. Then again, he might lose all of his speed and athleticism and he will become a pretty mediocre to bad player. It's really like the future for the Wizards is pretty uncertain. The only thing that is certain for the Wizards' future is Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura is a pretty good player. He was in his rookie year this year, and he's one of the more I consider him one of the more underrated rookies this year. He's a pretty solid player. He's able to, get some points in the paint. This year he averaged 13.5 points per game, 6 rebounds per game on 47% shooting from the field. That's obviously not too great, but it's his rookie year. He's obviously going to improve. And I like his skill set when he plays the game. He has a lot of moves that he can do to get some points in the paint. He's going to have to get used to the NBA before he becomes a star player, but I can see him becoming a, star player in the NBA. And yeah, I think he's going to be the future for the power forward position for the Wizards. And also the Wizards only have 24 wins as of right now, so they're going to get a top 10 pick in a draft, and they could possibly, draft some pretty good player. Right now, I think they should probably draft either a center or a small forward. There's players like Jaden McDaniels, Onyeka Okongwu that they can draft, maybe Obi Toppin. And those players can fit really well with the Wizards, in my opinion, if they do end up drafting a player like Obi Toppin or Onyeka Okongwu. And then you also got players like Davis Bertans, Mo Wagner, Thomas Bryant, Isaac Bonga, Jerome Robinson. Yeah, those players, they can become possibly some good players in the future. Isaac Bonga is only 20 years old. Thomas Bryant is only 22 years old. Mo Wagner is only 22 years old. And Davis Bertans is 27 years old. So obviously those players are some young players that can possibly, develop into at least decent players. I think Thomas Bryant can become a solid role player. He could become a pretty traditional big man who can catch lobs, get rebounds, block shots. And then you got Isaac Bonga, who's a pretty, he's a really raw prospect, but maybe he can possibly become a solid player in the NBA. And then you got Mo Wagner, who could possibly become a knockdown shooter, a stretch 4 or stretch 5 type of player. And then Davis Bertans he's not on the older side of the spectrum at 27 years old, but he's still a deadly 3-point shooter. And most of the time, 3-point shooting specialists are the players that last the longest in the NBA, such as like Kyle Korver, Ray Allen, and players like that who are some knockdown shooters who have had longevity in the NBA. And I think the same is probably going to happen with Davis Bertans. He's going to have a long career that's going to pan out to the late 30s. He doesn't really rely on his athleticism or his speed or anything like that, so he'll be able to just spot up in the corner until he's like 40 years old and knock down some threes. As for the Wizards, as I said earlier in this video, like their future is really it's uncertain. Like they could possibly become a playoff contending team as soon as like next year or maybe 2 years, or they can become a bad team for the next 5 years until they can contend again. It really all depends on John Wall, if he could come back from the injury playing as well as he used to, and also if Bradley Beal can continue to get buckets like he did this year. And if their young players pan out to be great players, then obviously they'll be able to contend in 2 years or next year. They're a really uncertain team in the NBA, so I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see how it pans out for the Wizards. I feel like it's gonna be a long time before the Wizards become actual serious contenders in the NBA, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Hopefully they can become solid contenders in the near future. And yeah, that's gonna be all for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.